Hello, my students. Now, in this period of class, we are going to begin a new module. Module 2, the second textbook, right? 好，这个一节课开始呢，我们要学新的书了。这本书是模块2的书。那么首先第一个单元，讲的是 cultural relic. Now, let's have a look at the picture here. So, look at the picture here, and later I will show you some more picture. So, after having a look at them, can you make a guess what cultural relics are? 我们猜一猜什么叫做 cultural relic? Well, culture here is adjective of culture, right? 它是文化 culture 这个词的名词。那么什么又是 relics 呢？那么这个好像难一点，我们来看一下以下的图片。So what is it? I'm sure you're very familiar with it, right? It's one of places of interest in Beijing, very famous. Yeah, it's the Temple of Heaven, 天坛。Okay, continue. Here, it's a 圆明园 Park, 圆明园公园。Next one, the Forbidden City. 我们说的故宫 ，forbidden 是 forbid 过去分词，是有禁止的意思，也就是我们原来所说的紫禁城 ，the Forbidden City. Okay. Now look at the picture and the famous saying, "A man who doesn't go to where is not a true man." Yeah, the Great Wall. 也就是我们平常老说的不到长城非好汉 ，right? Okay, one more picture. Now, it's a terracotta warriors and horses, of 秦始皇。那么这里就是我们所说的秦始皇兵马俑，对吧 ？Terracotta 就是陶土和陶瓦。Warrior 有战士的意思，兵马俑 Terracotta warriors. Okay, now maybe you are not familiar with one. It is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Now look at the picture, and people call it the Hanging Garden of Babylon, right? Okay, another one. Yeah, it's very famous, right? It's an amazing statue. It's called the Statue of Liberty. Liberty. 自由女神像。Okay, now familiar with this 我们所说的斯芬尼克斯，对吧？那么这个就是金字塔 ，the pyramids in Egypt. The pyramid in Egypt, right? Pyramids actually are the tombs for Pharaoh in ancient Egypt. And this one, can you make a guess? It is. Now the building is located in India, and it is a grave a king built for his wife. Now, it shows the deep love of the king and queen. So what is it? Yeah, that's Taj Mahal, 泰姬陵. Oh, yeah, amazing tower, right? You are very familiar with this one. It is a famous Italy building, and it got the name because it leans to the earth. Lean, yeah, that's lean, 倾斜. It actually used for telling people time. We call it the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? 比萨斜塔. Okay, now this one. It was in France, built in 13th century, and it was a castle for the king of France. In 1793, it opened to the public and became a museum. Open to the public, 对公众开放。那么这个是我们所说的卢浮宫。Okay, one more. It is located in Paris, in France. It is the biggest arc. Arc 有拱形、拱门的意思 in the world. It's the grand and beautiful in the night light. The triumphal arc, 凯旋门. So after having looked at the pictures, so can you make a guess what cultural relics are? Okay, can you give me a sentence or maybe some phrases? Yeah, now let's have a look at. A cultural relic is something that has survived for a long time, often a part of something old that has remained when the rest has been destroyed. It tells people about the past. 那么这就是我们所说的文化遗址、文化遗迹、文化遗产。Cultural relic is something that has survived for a long time. 经历了很久、很长的时间，但依旧保存下来了。Often a part of something old that has remained. 保留下来了。When the rest has been destroyed. 可能其他的都已经不复存在、消失了，但它依旧还存在。它告诉我们一些过去的事情，一些我们的民族的事情、国家的事情，我们的一些文化。Right. Okay, now, another one. What are the similarities of these cultural relics? 那么这些文化遗产、文化遗迹都有一些什么样的特点呢？我们可以再回想一下。那么首先，他们都是非常著名的、非常出名的 ，world famous to the world. Famous to the world, right? Second, they are the symbols of their countries and cultures. 他们是这个国家文化的象征，是这个国家的象征。And they has a long history for some important reasons, right? For some important purpose. 他们的存在是有其独特的原因、重要的原因的。And they are of great value to us today. 他们对于我们来说真的是很重要、很珍贵的。They are of great value. Okay, and also all these cultural relics are quite beautiful, but some of them were lost or ruined in history, such as 圆明园, the Great Wall, and the Pyramid. 他们的确很美丽，但是有一些也都不复存在了，或者是被毁掉了一部分，是吧？比如说这些地方。那么他们为什么会经历到这些破坏呢？ What can cause them lost or ruined? Two reasons. First, maybe they were destroyed by natural disasters. Right? Have you ever thought about it? 有没有想过呢？ By wind or maybe by rain, right? The second one, maybe they were even stolen by invaders, by people, right, during wars. 那么一个是由于自然的原因，自然灾害，另外是可能被一些外来者、闯入者、入侵者破坏。Okay, that's the warming up part. Something about cultural relic, what cultural relics are, and the similarities of cultural relics. Well, let's move on the pre-reading words. Okay, before reading, I'll show you some pictures, and please write down these words according to the picture. Now, these buildings are called what? Remember? Just now we talked about, they are called cultural relics. And these are the vase, right? V-A-S-E, vase. And this one on the left is called ivory, 是我们所说的象牙 ivory. And this one, dragon, dragon, 中国龙 right? Okay, and what is it? Maybe you like Harry Potter very much, so you can tell me this is called castle, right? Castle, 城堡 castle. 注意 t 是不发音的 castle. Okay. Now, before reading, I will show you some more pictures about a kind of a stone. Look at the pictures, very beautiful, clear and beautiful, right? So what are they? Yes, they are called amber. Amber. 那么它们就是我们所称的琥珀。Okay, now, what color does amber have? Of course, yellow and brown, somehow like honey, right? And what do you think amber can be made into? 那么这么清澈透亮呢，它有可能会做成什么样的东西呢？ Well, let's have a look at the pictures. Yes, it's a vase made of amber, right? And this one is It's a kind of decoration that you can wear around your neck. It's necklace. And this one is ring. Yeah, ring. Now this one is earring, right? Earring. And the one is called bracelet. Bracelet. 我们所说的手镯或者是手链。And this one, barrette. What is a barrette? Barrette is a small metal or plastic object used to keep a woman's hair in place. So barrette, 应该是指的那种发卡、发饰。Well, yeah, it's a perfume bottle. Perfume bottle 是我们说的香水瓶。And glass, right? Yeah. Now the reading passage is called In Search of Amber Room. In Search of Amber Room. Now the pictures, the Amber Room. Amber Room was built in 1709. And before we go into the reading passage, would you please make a prediction? What do you think the text may talk about? According to the title, In Search of Amber Room. Here, in search of, somehow like search for or look for, right? So, this passage will introduce the design and history of the Amber Room, and the Russians and Germans have rebuilt it. About the design, about the history of Amber Room, and also about the rebuilding of the Amber Room, right? Now, have a brief look at the first paragraph and fill in the blanks. The Amber Room was made of coarse amber, and was decorated with gold and jewels. Okay, good. Now, read the passage and try to find out the main idea of each part. I'll give you some help. Paragraph 1 is part 1, and from paragraph 2 to paragraph 4, part 2. The last part, paragraph 5. Okay. So what is the main idea of each part? Well, for the first part, Amber Room has a strange history, and it talks about its design. The second part, the history of the Amber Room. The third part, the Russians and Germans have rebuilt the Amber Room. 3 parts. Do you agree? Okay, now let's move on to do some details. Now look at the chart. In the left column, here, purpose. What is the purpose? Yeah, why people built Amber Room? And what happened to the Amber Room? What's the history, right, of the Amber Room? The Amber Room experienced many stages. Okay, first, let's look at this part, purpose. From paragraph 2 to 5, we can get the answer. Amber Room actually was made not to be a gift, but for the palace of Frederick I. So from the reading context, you can get the answer right. 起初它被建造出来并不是用作礼物，当做礼物，而是什么？而是一个什么样的宫殿？作为 Frederick I 的宫殿。Okay, the next part. What happened to the Amber Room? 那么，在不同的年代 ，Amber Room 都经历了一些什么呢？我们可以到文章当中去找细节。In 1716, the next king, Frederick William I, gave the Amber Room to Peter the Great as a gift. In 1770, the Amber Room was completed the way Catherine II wanted. Okay. In 1941, the Nazi army and Russia were at war, and the Nazis stole the Amber Room. In 2003, the rebuilding of the Amber Room was completed. 重建的工作完成了。So that's a brief history of the Amber Room. Now, I don't want to talk some more about the Amber Room. If you like it, you can log online and surf the internet, get some more information about it. Now, in the following, let's focus on the language points. Okay, the first one is about survive. Survive used as a verb. The original sentence is on page 1, pre-reading part. Is it enough to have survived for a long time? Survived here means to continue to live or exist, especially after coming close to dying or being destroyed. So survive, 幸存下来。Now survivor, or 这块是 or 结尾 here means a person who continues to live despite nearly dying， 就是说我们所说的幸存者。接着 survival also noun form 幸存 when a person, organization, etc. continues to live or exist。 好，那么这个三个词动词 survivor 幸存者名词 survival。 好，我们看一下这几个句子。我们首先过一遍，然后来决定到底选哪个词。He was the only survivor of the plane crash. 他是唯一的幸存者。These plants cannot survive in very cold conditions. 在非常寒冷的环境下，这种植物是不能生存的，不能存活的。Okay. The doctors told my wife I had 50-50 chance of survival. It's a bad news. Or maybe good news. The doctor told my wife I had 50-50 chance of survival. 也就是说，医生跟我妻子说，我有50%的存活可能，存活的希望 ，right? Maybe good news, I think. Survival. Okay, the next one is in search of. In search of. Here means looking for something. Now, search, S-E-A-R-C-H, is a noun form in the phrase in search of. In search of the Amber Room, that's the title, right? 那就说 looking for the Amber Room, 搜寻寻找 Amber Room. 好，我们看一下 They started off at once in search of the missing girl. 他们立即出发，立刻启程去寻找那个丢失了的女孩。Started off at once immediately in search of the missing girl. The boy went. 他出去了，是想找一些吃的东西。In search of something to eat. In search of something to eat. Okay, the third one, select. It's a verb. Select. The amber which was selected had a beautiful yellow-brown color like honey. 那么这句话也就是说，能够入选的这个琥珀一定要是什么样子呢？非常漂亮的，黄棕色的，就像蜂蜜的颜色 ，right? Like honey. 好，那么我们看一下 select 这个词 ，to choose somebody or something by carefully thinking which is best. Carefully choose something carefully, actually, right? 那么这两句话，我选了4张明信片。I selected 4 postcards， 那就是精挑细选的，跟 choose 的区别，也就是更加仔细、更加认真。请帮我的妈妈选几个好的苹果。那么这个怎么说呢 ？Please select a few nice apples, some good apples for my mom. Okay. 好 ，selection is a noun form， 这是它的名词形式。我们看一下 ，The store has a wide selection of cheeses。那么这个商店所卖的这个芝士 cheese，可选的范围很多啊。 种类很多 ，has a wide selection of cheeses。那么同样的短语，有大批新鲜的鱼可以供选择。There was a wide selection of fresh fish, right? There was a wide selection of fresh fish. Okay, now let's move on. Number 4, design, noun form, design. The design of the room was in a fancy style popular in those days. The design of the room was in a fancy style popular in those days. Design here used as a noun means a way in which something is planned and made. 说这个琥珀屋的设计呢，在当时在当年还是很流行很时尚的 in a fancy style, right? 好，我们看一下 design， 当然还有当动词用的时候，我们可以设计什么 to make or draw plans for something. For example, clothes and buildings. 设计建筑物，设计衣服。好，我们看看下面的这一句话 I don't like the design of that building. 我不太喜欢那个建筑物的设计。那么这里的 design 就应该是名词形式。第二个 Who designed that building? 不喜欢，那么这到底是谁设计的呀？这块 design 用作动词。好，那么 designer 相信大家也很熟悉 designer 名词形式就指的设计师、设计者 a fashion designer 那就是服装设计师，有这个意思。好，下面一个它是出现在第一段的第一行 The king of Prussia could never have imagined that his greatest gift would have such an amazing history. The king could never have imagined that the gift would have such an amazing history. 那么这个怎么理解呢？普鲁士的国王他没有想到他的这个礼物将会有这样一个惊人的历史 could never have done。 那么这里用的是 could never have done 情态动词加上 have done 完成时的形式。情态动词加完成时可以表示什么呢？它表示对过去发生的事情的一种推测、责备、批评或者是反悔等等。他自己怎么也没有想到，当然这里语气不是说很明显，我们可以再看一些句子，比如说这两句话 He couldn't have gone abroad. I saw him just now. He couldn't have gone abroad because I saw him just now. Could have done 情态动词加 have done 形式，他不可能已经出国了，因为我刚刚还看见他呢。Could have done 那么这里的情态动词加完成时所指的就是对过去发生的事情的一种推测。The second one, he must have been at home last night. I saw the light on. He must have been at home last night. I saw the light on. Must have done. 那么根据上下文可以看出，他一定是在家呢。他昨天晚上一定是在家，因为我看见灯亮着呢。那么这里头 must have done 指的就是对过去的事情的这种非常肯定的推测。Must have done. 好，我们看一下下面一个语言点 belong to 这个短语。好，我们的句子是 However, the next king of Prussia, Frederick William I, to whom the Amber Room belonged. 比较难懂。However, the king, William I, to whom the Amber Room belonged. Actually, the Amber Room belonged to the king, William I, right? So, something belonged to somebody. Belong to here means to be a member of a group or an organization, right? Organization. Belong to 属于什么东西属于某人，或者是某人属于什么样的组织团体。You belong to the party. You belong to the league, right? The Amber Room belonged to the king. 好 They belong to the same chess club. Belong to. 好 His father, 他父亲是党员。 His father belongs to the party. 共产党 the party. 这本书是你的吗？ belong to 用 belong to. 好 Does this book belong to you? 注意 belong 这个词，它是一个不及物动词，是一个实义动词，所以它在用的时候不能用在被动语态当中，不能说 be belonged to， 没有这种用法，而且它也一般不用在进行时，因为我们说过的，表示所属的这种动词一般不用做进行时。Does this book belong to you? 它是属于你的吗？好，我们接着往下看。第8个 in return 这个词组 in return the Tsar sent him a troop of his best soldiers 在第2段出现了 in return， 那么这个词组是作为回报的意思。 The boy carried a bag for an old lady. In return, she gave the boy an apple. 那么男孩子帮这个老妇人去拿包拿行李，那么作为回报，老妇人给了他一个苹果 right? In return, comma 逗号后面接上你要说的话。He bought her a gold watch in return for her help. 那么他给这个lady 买了一块金表，是答谢他的帮助哈。In return for something, for her help, maybe for her kindness, right? In return for something. 好，下面这一句话我们来看一下怎么翻译。他帮助别人总是不求任何回报。好，我们看 He's always helping others, helping people without expecting anything in return. Without expecting anything in return. 那么这块 without doing 不期待任何回报 right? Without expecting 期待的意思 anything in return 这句话很好，希望大家能记住。好，下面一个第9个 at war 原句是 This was a time when the two countries were at war. 这是一个什么样的时候呢？是2个国家处于交战的时候，正在交战的时候 be at war。 好，另外2句话 How long have they been at war? How long have they been at war? 用的是完成时，也就是说他们交战多久了。下一个 The US and Iraq were at war 在交战当中，在战争当中，这2个国家。好，有关 war 还有一些词组我们来看一下。 My grandfather fought in the war. My grandfather fought in the Second World War. 在这个战争当中参战了哈 fight in the war。 那么奔赴战场和参战我们还可以这么说 go to war right 宣战 declare war declare 宣布的意思。接着战争爆发，记不记得这个词组应该是 the war broke out in 哪年 broke out。 好，接着往下第6个 After that what really happened to the Amber Room remains a mystery。 好，那么这块 remains a mystery remain 这个词是不及物动词，同样我们还记得吗？不及物动词是不可以用于被动语态的。那么 remain 这个词也是不用于被动语态，也通常不用于进行时，保持一种状态。比如说之后呢，至于 Amber Room 到底怎么了，发生什么事情了，还依旧是个谜，没有人知道。大家看几个例句 remain 后面除了可以加名词形式，还可以怎么用？ Much remains to be done， 还有很多事有待我们去解决呢。 remain to be done 加不定式。 The old man remained sitting when they came in。 当老人进来的时候当他们进来的时候，老人还在那儿坐着 remain sitting remain doing。 The foreign guests remained in Beijing for 2 weeks. Remain in Beijing, right? Or you can also say, well, the teacher remained young and beautiful after you come back to school again. 当你几年后回到学校的时候，你发现老师们还都那么年轻漂亮。You can also say remain beautiful and remain young, right? 加形容词形式。好，接着往下，第10个 remove。原句是 Before the Nazis could get to the summer palace, the Russians were able to remove some furniture and small art objects from the Amber Room. 那么 remove 这个词有3个意思， 第一个 to take something or someone away from somewhere or of something， 那么这个其实就是这句话的意思，把什么移走 take away right， remove the furniture take away the furniture from the amber room。 那么第二个 get rid of 有摆脱放掉，有这个意思哈。to take off a piece of clothing take off clothes 也就是脱掉一件衣服，脱衣服的意思。那我们看一下这几个。It got so hot that he removed his tie and jacket。 这个很明显，天太热了，以至于呢，他把领带和这个是外套夹克衫脱掉了，所以应该是刚才的 C 选项。take off right。 下面一个 Please remove your bag from the chair。 Remove your bag from the chair。 好，那么这个呢我还没有读完。 So that I can sit down， 请你把你的书包从椅子上挪走，这样呢 so that 以便我可以坐下来，所以是第一个解释 take away 拿走。第三个 What is the best way to remove the dirt on the shoes？ 什么是最好的办法将你的鞋子上的尘土去掉的最好的办法？那么这块 remove 应该就是我们所说的 get rid of， 弄掉。好，下面 doubt 在第4段 There is no doubt that the boxes were then put on the train for Königsberg, which was at that time a German city on the Baltic Sea。 好， There's no doubt that， 请大家注意这块连接词一定是 that， 不能用 what 或者是什么 which 都不可以，就是毫无疑问毋庸置疑的意思。 There's no doubt that，那么除了 there's no doubt that 加句子，还可以 there's no doubt at all about something， 关于这件事儿没什么可问的，没有什么疑问。好，两个句子看能不能翻译。毫无疑问他是一个好人，用这个吧。 There's no doubt that he's a good person right。 对付此病的治疗方法终有一天会找到的，这一点是毋庸置疑毫无疑问的。 There's no doubt that one day a cure will be found。 A cure 治疗方法 kind of treatment right， 治愈办法。好，其实 there's no doubt 可以简写为 no doubt， 或者把这个甚至把这个 that 都省略掉。 No doubt you will have your own ideas。 那毫无疑问呢，每个人都会有自己的想法。She was a top student, no doubt about it. It is certainly true right。 她是一个好学生，一个非常优秀的 an excellent student，毫无疑问，对于这一点没有疑问。好，下面第12个 former， 第12个 former。 By studying old photos of the former amber room, they have made the new one look like the old. Former。 那么通过上下文这个句子我们可以看出来，这个 former 是什么意思呢？通过研究这个什么的 amber room 的照片，他们已经建造出了一个非常像原来的 amber room 的一个新的他们已经建造出了一个新的 amber room。 那么这个新的呢是跟原来的很像的，所以 former 应该是之前的，像 previous 的感觉哈 the old one。 So here former happening or existing before but not now。 我们经常会用 previous 之前的来代替哈。你比如说 the former Soviet Union，前苏联。 their farm has been reduced to half its former size. Their farm has been reduced to half its former size. 被削减到原来的大小了。former 之前的，原先的。former 还有一个意思 having a particular position in the past， 那么通常会用 x 什么来说，比如说前妻、前夫，那就是 ex-husband, ex-wife, right? Her former husband, his former wife. 那么用 x 横杠加 husband 也可以表示同样的意思。那么 former President Clinton, former president， 你就说前总统，对吧？之前的。那么还有一个词组大家可以记一下，in former times or in former years， 之前的一些日子，那就是time in the past， right？ 好，再往下是 worse 这个词没有在课文当中出现，在记得是练习当中出现了。第3页 Is it worth rebuilding lost cultural relics such as the Amber Room or 圆明园 in Beijing? Is it worth rebuilding? It is worth doing. 值不值得建造呢？值得。这本书值得一读。那么是跟 worth 相关的一些用法，请大家看一下括号里的这3个。主语 be worth doing， be worth 加上钱数，多少钱，值多少钱 ，be worth something。我们看例句，这本书值得一读。The book is worth reading。直接说 is worth reading。虽然你可以看出来是书值得被我们读，是一个被动的感觉，但是这里是 worth 的一个特性，用主动的形式表被动含义，就说成 the book is worth reading， 不能用作被动的。那么记住，这个 worth 在这块都是形容词哈。再比如说，还是这个句子，还是这个短语，我们说这个地方值得参观，值得被人去参观，那么显然也不应该用被动，还是用它。The city or the place is worth visiting, right? It's worth visiting. 主动的 visiting 表示被动含义。好，下一个，我们的房子价值20万英镑。Our house is worth about 200,000 pounds, right? Is worth some money. Be worth some money. 直接加钱数，值多少钱？你努力爬上山是值得的。It's worth your effort to climb the mountain. It's worth your effort. Be worth your effort. 直接加名词。爬山是值得做的一件事哈，值得你付出努力的。Be worth your effort. 好，接着下面的第4页练习当中出现了一个 take apart， 注意它是 apart。原句 The old man saw some Germans taking apart Amber Room and removing it。 那么这里 take apart 什么意思呢？ If something comes apart or you take it apart, it's separated into several or different pieces。 把什么肢解开，拆开。好，我们看这句话，他们把引擎拆开，看看出了什么问题。那么这里引擎用的是 engine。They took the engine apart to see what was wrong, to see what happened, right? 接下来，同学可能会觉得，这不是一样的吗？其实大家仔细看是 take part 而不是 take apart， 千万不要混淆。take part 含义就完全变了，它指的是 to be involved in something, in an activity with other people， 参加、加入有这个意思。好，看一下 ，about 400 students took part in the protest。protest 反对、反抗的意思，有这么多学生都参与了这个反抗的活动。At college, I took an active part in student politics。在大学的时候，我积极参加活动 ，took part， 而且还是一个加了形容词了 ，take an active part in something， 是一个非常活跃的角色。好 ，take part in or take an active part in 有形容词了，注意有冠词，那么后面的介词都是 in。好，这句话怎么说呢？他通常非常积极参加班级活动。She usually takes part in the class activities. 好，第15个 explode 原句 In April, I heard something explode at midnight. 午夜我听到什么东西爆炸了，爆炸声响。那么这里就是 burst violently。好，今天早晨一颗炸弹在伦敦最繁忙的地铁站爆炸了，这个怎么说呢？A bomb exploded at one of the London's busiest railway stations this morning. One of the busiest railway stations， 最繁忙的地铁站之一。好，我们看一下后面 explode 的名词、形容词形式 explosion 和 explosive。我们看这两句话应该怎么选 ？There was a loud explosion， 非常响的爆炸声。名词 Certain gases are highly explosive， 有些气体是非常容易爆炸的 Be explosive。 好，下面 Think highly of I think highly of those who are searching for the Amber Room。 对于那些在寻找 Amber Room 的这些人，我觉得他们是值得尊敬的，应该给予高度评价的。I think highly of them somehow like respect, right？ 或你翻成看重啊，或者是尊敬都可以。他很看重他的那些员工。He thinks very highly of her employees。好，那么同样的，我们可以把 think 换成 speak highly of， 那就是说对谁高度评价 ，say good things about somebody。Dan 对他的老板评价很高。Dan speaks highly of his boss. Okay, now so much about words and expressions in this unit. So after class, please read the words and expressions and also the sentences as many times as you can. And I highly suggest, I recommend that you should memorize some of the beautiful sentences in your heart. Okay, now so much about today's lesson. See you next time.